NES hidden gem is a term that's thrown around a lot. And I've got no problem with it, as you know, a lot of other people don't too, but when the Nintendo's been out for what, 30 years now? 31 years almost? Is anything really hidden? Yeah, because with what, 700 and some licensed games, I'm sure there's a lot you've missed and I've missed and a lot of other people have missed. And we all know the regulars, you know, the good games, your Castlevanias, your Super Mario Brothers 3, and your Legend of Zelda. But, you know, the other hidden gem videos that are out there, everyone's always talking about Metal Storm, Power Blade, Shatterhand, Xerxes, The Guardian Legend, Xanac. There's, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of other ones out there. So what I've decided, I was going to go through a lot of the games that I've played, grew up with, and ones I remember from my past. And I have 5, you know, other NES games here that I think are hidden gems. You know, some that might be a little common to some that they don't realize are good, but for some other reason, and you know, in the placement of their genres also makes them a hidden gem. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at, again, these top 5 hidden gems, and we're going to crack open a beer. And we're going to get hitting on that intro. BAM! At number 5 of my hidden gem list, we're going to go with Tecmo World Wrestling. It's more of a common game that gets overlooked, and the only reason I think it is because it's a pro wrestling game. But it is the best pro wrestling game on the NES. It's got 10 playable characters you can pick from. The move list, like for all the different wrestling moves you can make, there's a lot of them compared to almost all the other games. If you think of all the pro wrestling games that are on the NES, from the Black Box Pro Wrestling, the 3 or 4 WWF games, you've got Tag Team Pro Wrestling, oh my god, WCW Wrestling, and can you count Muscle? It's definitely got to be the best because of the complexity of the grapple system with all the different moves. And the biggest thing about it is they've got cutscenes when your character actually does a finishing move. That is awesome, and that's pretty much why I have to put it on my top 5. For 4 of my hidden gems list, we have Super Spy Hunter. Wow, man, I actually didn't get this game till my early 20s. I was either 19 or 20, maybe 21. Like the third time I had an NES, and when I first started playing, I'm like, this is amazing. It's one of the better driving shooting games that are on the NES because it is more fast-paced, even though there is some slowdown, quite a bit at certain stages, I must say. Fast-paced action, the decent difficulty. It's not too hard, definitely not easy by any means. I picked it up actually just recently, and my used price card only was $30, and that's about what it's going for. So it's also not a terrible. It's going to be the most expensive game that's on this list. The music is awesome, the controls is awesome, as well as just the premise of the game. Like when you power up, how your car actually warps with different like body kits and stuff like that. It just makes it look cool, and then all the different power-ups you can get for like to make the computer shoot its own, as well as like the guitar, the bombs, everything, all the other power-ups you can get along the way. It's definitely a reason why it needs to be on my top 5 list. Number 3 on my list is Freedom Force, another game by Sunsoft. The main reason actually I put this on the list is basically because it is the best Zapper game that is on the NES. I did not pick it up to about 10 months ago, and I was just looking at cheap NES games I didn't have, and I was like, wait, this is a Zapper game? I've never heard of it, never played it. Picked it up, and I just thought immediately, like I said, it was the best Zapper game because there's a difficulty to it. It's not just like a points-based game. Unlike, I guess, Bayou Billy, there's a shooting part in it, but the game sucks, kind of, and to get to it, it's not a big deal. As to this, you're just not like shooting for a high score or Gumshoe where you're shooting, you know, him to jump on balloons. This is a game that's meant for the Zapper to shoot things. Hogan's Alley, it just doesn't compare to this. That's just shooting things that scroll. Like, I understand people just pop out of, you know, sides and everything like this, but nobody ever talks about this. It's got blood in it, and being the best Zapper game that nobody ever brings this game up. Is it because the Zapper is just, you know, an accessory that's just kind of meh on the system? I think it deserves a hidden gem. And number 2 on my list goes to HAL's Kabuki Quantum Fighter. It basically plays like the first Batman game on NES, and everyone gives that game so much credit. Why is this not as good? I understand you get a little bit more life. The difficulty's on par as Batman. The music's pretty darn decent. The controls are awesome. They're exactly on par with Batman. And I don't know why it gets so overlooked. For the price you're going to pay to pick it up, for the gameplay it's definitely a good game. I don't know if it's just because of the title throws you off and it's not very an Americanized game. I don't know, it's just one of the ones that I recommend as one of those other hidden gems. And number 1 of my 5 NES other hidden gems is Phazanadu. Basically, the year it came out, 1989, it got overshadowed. It was towards the end of almost the first half of the NES's lifespan. And you think about it, in '89, just even subtitles that came out, on the top of my head, Super Mario Bros. 2, Legend of Zelda 2, Adventures of Link, this one would definitely get overlooked. The controls are pretty darn good. You need a little bit of a running start for some of the jumps, but that's not bad. Everything else feels really smooth. The music's pretty decent. There's some high blips and stuff that just kind of hurts the ear a little bit to me if you have the TV up loud. The colors are a little interesting because it's more of an earthy tone, which suits the game very well. You're climbing a tree most of the game, or pretty much all the game. And there's one spot when you get to the second part of stage, around this, second part of the game, there's fog, and it's the best implementation that the NES can pull off of fog. And for the limitations of what the NES can do, it's amazing. So I believe it deserves to be on my top 5 other NES hidden gems. So what do you guys think about this list? Do you agree, disagree? What 5 would you pick? Throw that comment below. Slap a like on this puppy. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please. Until next time, like always, everybody, drink one on me.